In self-supervised learning, the core objective is to learn useful semantic representations without using labels. Most self-supervised methods enforce this by taking multiple augment views of the same image and pulling their representation close together in the embedding space. If two images come from the same source, their embeddings should match. But this immediately leads to a major problem: representation collapse. The model can cheat by mapping every input to the same constant vector. The loss becomes minimal, but the representation carries no information. Different methods prevent this in different ways. SimCLR uses negative samples, explicitly pushing apart representations of different images. Beol avoids negatives by using asymmetric architecture and stop gradient mechanisms. However, even when collapse is avoided, there is another deeper issue. Embedding dimensions themselves can be redundant. Multiple dimensions may encode the same information, which means we are wasting representational capacity. The model is invariant but inefficient. This is where Barlow twins introduces a very elegant idea. Given a batch of images, Barlow twins generate two differently augmented versions of the entire batch. These are passed through an encoder and a projector network, producing two sets of embeddings. From these embeddings, the model computes a cross-correlation matrix across the batch. You can think of this as a normalized covariance matrix between the two views. The objective is simple but powerful. The diagonal elements should be close to 1, meaning the same embedding dimension responds similarly across augmentations of the same image. The off-diagonal elements should be close to 0, meaning different embedding dimensions are decorrelated and not redundant. In other words, the cross-correlation matrix should look like the identity matrix. This naturally defines the Barlow twins loss, which has two parts: the invariance term, pulling together representations of the same image; a redundancy reduction term, pushing different dimensions to encode distinct information. What's especially interesting is that this connects directly to the information bottleneck principle. However, this elegance comes with a trade-off. The cross-correlation matrix is computed across the entire batch, which makes the method extremely memory intensive. The challenge is not the model size, but batch level statistics that must be stored and processed simultaneously. As a result, Barlow twins often require large batch sizes and high memory hardware, making it difficult to train at scale without strong computational resources.